All right, let me move to Wilfredo.
Okay, so name's Will Hernandez. Last 12 months, I closed 32 transactions. My goal for this year is $350,000 in dollars and 40 transactions for the year.
And do you know how to get there? Do you know what needs to be done?
Yes, I need to be a lot more consistent than I was last year with some things as far as prospecting, reaching out to my sphere on a quarterly and monthly basis, just getting together with the people that refer me the most and making sure that I stay top of mind with those people.
Okay, good. Let's go to Yamanda.
Hello, good morning. My name is Yamanda Perez. I have been in the business for 2 years, almost 3 now. And last year I closed 14 transactions, and for next year I would like to close 25 transactions for a total of $160,000.
And you know what needs to be done?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Lisette?
My name is Lisette Guzman, and I've been in business for almost 4 years. I closed last year 26 transactions, and for next year I want to close 80 transactions.
And you know what needs to be done?
Yes.
All right, good. Teresa Guaba.
Okay, so my name's Teresa Guaba, and the first question, I've been in the business since really 2019. I had my license in 2016, but I really didn't start till 2019, end of 2019, so 2020, beginning of 2020.
Last 12 months?
Yeah, last 12 months, if you're counting today, 11. And I want to do double what I did last year, so that's
22. Okay.
22, and that's about $100,000.
Do you know what needs to be done?
Yes, self-development.
Well, 22 transactions is about $150,000.
Oh, 150,000. Yeah, so I need to do self-development. I was watching Selena's video yesterday, and
we'll talk about that in a second. I'll come back to you. Okay, good. Next person here is Elvis.
Okay, my name is Elvis Santana. For 2021, closed 20 deals, and the goal for 2022 is to close 40 deals. We want to double our production. We are pretty confident that we know how a lot of the activities that we have to do, facilitated by our system that we're excited about.
All right, we can't really hear you well, Elvis. Maybe you want to check the Wi-Fi connection. I'm going to jump to Keishel.
I've been in the business for a year now. Last year I closed 2 deals. This year I want to close 15, and my goal is $100,000.
And do you know how to get there?
Yes.
Very good. All right, Steven.
Hey guys, my name is Steve DeLone. First year in the business, and this year I would love to close 25 transactions. And I don't yet know how to get there, but I'm sure I will.
Okay. Well, you're a brand new licensee, really. So it's not really your first year, you just started. Okay, good. Brand new licensee want to do, you said 25 transactions?
Correct.
Okay, it's a very aggressive goal, but could be done, and we'll get into what needs to be done. All right, very good. Now, let me go back to the beginning. We started with Glenda. I want to go back to Glenda, and I want to ask you, Glenda, you know what needs to be done in order to achieve the amount of deals you want to achieve, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and last week we spoke about what can stand in your way, what can distract you from doing the things that you know you need to do in order to get there, because if you will be distracted, you will never get there. So I told you guys, try to figure out how can you eliminate these distractions, and did you put together a plan for yourself to get that thing done?
Working on it.
Okay, do you want to share what needs to be done?
Yes, it's a little more strict with the kids, you know, the timing with the kids, finding who will take care of them in the afternoons and all that stuff. And then, of course, me taking time to read, to study the presentations and all that stuff. So it's more of, sometimes it's more me than anything. I think I'm stopping myself from getting where I want to be.
Okay.
And it's time that I turn it around.
And the only way to do that is
by taking full responsibility about it and admitting that I need to work on myself and read more. And of course, attend all these coaching classes.
so attend coaching and self-development work.
Yes.
Reading, implementing, writing notes, putting in action. Small increments. You cannot change overnight. So you got to start changing a
Right.
little bit, right?
Right.
But what I want you guys to
Which
do
is what I did change last year. The one change that I did was to be more consistent with my buyers, so I can see it working. And I know that this year already I'll have more than what I did last year.
Very good. And also KV Core. You need to implement KV
Absolutely.
Core.
And that
yeah, KV Core should really bring more people to you, to find you.
yes.
Will make more people to find you, which is really what is needed. But the
And help with the
self-development
follow-up.
portion- yeah, look, when you do self-development, this is all across the board, not just Glenda. When you devote yourself to self-development, you cannot fail. Because the only reason you don't meet your goals is because you're not developed enough to the person you wish to be. Like, I want to make X. Great. Do you have what it takes to make X? What does it take to get X? Wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. Well, I'm waking up at 7:30. Okay, you're not aligned. Align yourself. So this is the kind of behaviors what we spoke about last week. You need to know what can stop you. Like, what are you not aligned with that person? You know, you need to be aligned with the person you want to be. And then the business needs to be aligned with the amount of business you want to do. The business needs to be aligned. For example, if I do 20 deals by myself and I have a transaction coordinator, I can easily do 40. But when I get closer to 40, I will probably start needing some administrative help, specifically if I'm not going to do it like full time, like Wilfredo as an example. You know, you won't be able to do that because you can't do everything by yourself. You need to hire someone. And many times hiring the right person is more affordable than you guys think. It's more affordable than you think. Like, you can find someone, train them. They just need to speak good English, picking up the phone, sending emails, checking emails, looking at Excel sheets, you know, looking at your KV Core and doing all that stuff in your CRM, whatever you need, they can do that. You just need to know, here's the thing I'm trying to say. Here's what I did last 12 months. Here's what I want to do this year. I know what needs to be done. And I also know what's going to stand in my way, which I'm going to go back to everybody right now. I want to really know that you know what's standing in your way. And I like, Glenda, that you recognize that it's you. And then, you know, obviously you got to do self-development. It's self-development. That's what's missing. And this is really a big step that Selena took, you know, after she had real breakdowns, physically, emotionally, and all across the board. And she devoted herself to self-development. That's what saved her. And also what saved me. Like, when I got divorced in 2008, I got divorced, 2007, 8. And that's when I also lost more than 80% of my money for real estate because I had deals sitting and I could not liquidate, and I could not get the mortgages that I needed. And then I also got too heavily involved and invested in too many real estate projects, and it was a freaking nightmare. And the only thing that really saved me was self-development, because it's always about us. We can't go to the next level. Look, I invested a bunch of money in real estate. Okay, my team was working at the time. I was still doing like 60, 70 deals a year. So income came in, but also expenses, a lot of expenses, then divorce. And then, you know, my daughter moved away. It was very, very, very difficult time. So instead of just diving at work, getting into the details, into the doing, I was starting to focus on myself, self-development. What's missing? Like, here's the person I want to be. I'm not that person yet, because if I was that person, I would already be there. These breakdowns wouldn't happen. The breakdowns can happen in the business, but the breakdowns cannot happen to the person. If the person feels like he's going through a breakdown, then there's something else that needs to be done. So self-development, when you feel that the only thing that stands between you and your goals is you, then the only thing that's missing is self-development. And until you take a leap of faith, and until you go like all in, full force, you're never going to win. So it's very important for all of you guys to understand that. All right, let's go to Wilfredo. So Wilfredo, you said you want to go to 40. You know what needs to be done. What can stand in your way? What distractions are you going to have?
I mean, the thing that stands in my way is just my eagerness to go do the fun things each and every day, you know, and drop in the realtor activities. So I know I got to really work on that and stick to my schedule and make sure that my morning time from 5 to 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm dialed in and plugged into, you know, just doing things that are going to generate business and leads. So it's really all on me, you know. I should have hit 40 last year, but the first half of the year, I spent most of my time working on. I had 2-3 family projects going on, food rehab, good job. So that's what I spent my time doing. So I lost, you know, quite a bit of leads that I could have turned and converted during that time. So it's just me sticking to a schedule, figuring out what works best for me, and you know, just plugging in all the time. So.
But the thing is, with figuring out, is that we don't have time for it. You should have already figured that out. So, and I think
no, and that's the thing. I figure it out. It's me. Yeah. It's on me. You know?
Okay, great. So now that you figure it out, what is it really? So you're saying, I jump into doing the things that I like instead of doing things I don't like. Okay, that's great. What's the next question you need to ask yourself in order to dive deeper?
If I really, I mean, I guess I really got to dial in if I really want to be like a, you know, top producing agent, if that's really, you know, the thing that I want to keep doing, because it's tough. It's not easy to stay a top producing agent, you know. So I like servicing people, you know, I like helping people get into real estate, especially multifamilies, and getting rid of that rental payment. So that part I really like. So you know, I just gotta stick to a schedule and do the things that procure more business.
Wait, you were touching it and then you left it. So I want to go back to it. You are saying that you really know what's stopping you because there is things that are more fun. Okay, so that would put that aside. Now we also know that there is something that you don't like doing. Because if you go to the other side that is more fun, that means that over here you don't like. What is it that you don't like?
Just sitting in front of a computer, like, you know, prospecting, the dull grind, you know, that's one of the things I don't like. But I guess I could replace that with doing more postcards and things that are more automated.
Can you put your finger on what it is specifically you don't like about the grind of making phone calls in front of a computer?
I just think it's boring, you know. There's no excitement there. There is sometimes when I get like a particular person that it's like, you know, we could go back and forth. And
when you get an appointment, when you get a listing appointment, it's very
that's exciting. Yeah, it is.
Almost like you are, you know, a surgeon and you're going to a surgery room.
Yeah, I mean, that adrenaline you get when it's like, okay, I dialed and you know, it's a great feeling.
So there is something in there that can give you great feelings, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And when you do get that listing appointment, then you go out there and you get that listing.
Oh, I feel on top of the world.
Exactly. So the question is, you have to look at the two extremes. If you really don't feel good prospecting, it means that on the other side of prospecting, there is something really, really, really rewarding.
Okay. Yeah.
Uncomfortable is on one side. On the other side is rewarding. So your rewards are going to be bigger than if you don't do it. Yeah. You got to look at, okay, why am I not prospecting? It's boring. Okay, great. It's boring. And why?
I mean, it's just that. It's just literally, I'm not a person. I'm not an office person. So prospecting tells me I got to be in front of a computer all day. You know.
Okay, so that can be fixed. So can you create an environment that is fun, that you can literally really have fun, an environment that is fun for you to do the prospecting? Because you don't need to do a lot of prospecting. You just need to do like what, 10, 20 contacts a day. That's not a lot.
Yeah,
right? You just get that done. So can you create some fun environment or something that's not going to be like boring, sitting down, making these calls? I have a feeling, correct me if I'm wrong, I have a feeling that below this boring feeling, there's also a feeling that you don't like to get rejected when you call people. Like that feeling of rejection, or you feel uncomfortable calling these people and bothering them, or no?
No, not at all. I mean, I've been a salesman for so long in different scenarios, like, you know, from my banking days as a banker, always asking people for business and, you know, always being turned down. So, and one of the things we did at the bank was I had to sit in front of the computer from 9 to 12 every day and make calls, you know, so that was something I did. And also just
was that boring when you did it?
Yeah, of course, you know. So, I mean, I was the only banker that was, I mean, I was a top producing banker. And the reason why was because I would go on the teleline instead and just talk to customers coming in. So I have people in front of me all the time as opposed to the phone. You know,
success comes to those who are willing to go through repetitious boredom.
Yeah.
Repeating those boring routines. The daily routine of prospecting is very boring.
Yeah.
But there is something exciting there. So maybe you could do something that at the beginning of the day or the night before, you're going to make a decision. You're going to say to yourself, okay, tomorrow morning, I know I'm bored, but it doesn't matter that I'm bored, because what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to get excited. How am I going to get excited? Because I'm going to get a listing appointment. So I just need to call enough people until one of them tells me, okay, let's meet. So, and then instead of looking at the boring side of prospecting, you're looking at, okay, today I'm getting a listing appointment. Look, I made a decision. This is what I'm telling you guys, self-development. You guys need to be in a posture that you know that you're going to get a listing appointment. You don't just go in, okay, let me make these phone calls because I got to do 10 today. So I need to get my 10 contacts. And then you go and you do your whatever else you do. But you go in with a different mindset. You go in saying, I'm going to get a listing appointment. I just don't know if it's going to be the first contact, second, third, or my 15th contact. I'm going to make my 15 contacts right now. One of them is my listing appointment. Let me check which one it is. You start dialing. That will give you a different feeling. It's not going to be boring anymore because there will be an expectation for the listing appointment. You'll be literally expecting to get a listing appointment. And that expectation will give you excitement, that rush of the listing appointment, getting it. And you go with that every day. And that's something that you can work on. You can get excited. You can literally get excited about something that's normally boring, but you're replacing it with some excitement. So try to do that.
Yeah, I got to change my mindset on it.
Yeah. And that if you change your mindset on it, you will get your goal for sure. You'll get your goal. And then maybe you can even do something else. Look, for me, one of the things that made me excited, when I had to prospect, I got myself like a super expensive computer. I got a super expensive headset. I was like, okay, I'm investing money in all this stuff. Now I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do it. And it did give me a lot of excitement with the dialer and all that stuff. I was really excited about it until, of course, you get bored again. But then you can also change again your environment. So there are things you can do to improve this feeling. Maybe where you're sitting, maybe relocate your desk, maybe change the design of your office, maybe go in a different office, maybe just prospect from your car. You can do that. On the way to a building, stop, take an hour break on the side of the road, prospect, call people, you know? So these are kind of things that I suggest you do. Because, and then again, you know that you can achieve the goal, but you said also something else about, I don't know if I want to be that realtor yet. Like, it's not really something that you made a full decision that this is really what you want. You gotta dig in, because you gotta make that decision. You have to make the decision. If you don't make the decision that you really want to be that realtor, you're not going to be that realtor. And then who are you? Like, when you're in between, you're not the realtor, but you're also not the other. Like, where are you?
Yeah, it's like I'm stuck in two places.
Yeah, it's not a very good feeling. So I don't know if you remember, but Yamanda was saying repeatedly on her video, I'm all in. You need to be all in. So that's what's missing here. You need to be all in. When you're all in, you'll do 60, 70, 80 transactions. Just look at it like that. If this guy can do 70, I can do 200. If this guy does 200, I can do also 200. Like, get yourself, sometimes we need an outside, you know, someone to tease you. Just because you're competitive. Not because it's not on the ugly side of competitiveness. Just saying to yourself, that's a mindset. You're like, dude, if this guy can do it, I can do it. Okay, so what's missing? Let me go. Like, I turn myself on to get fired up about it. You need to be fired up about what you're trying to achieve. If you're not fired up about it, then you really need to sit down and ask yourself questions. And if you figure out that it's not what you want to do, then let's talk about what you do want to do, and I can help you on that as well. You want to do more flips? We can go there. But you need to understand what it is that you really want. Okay, good. Very good stuff. Let's go next to Teresa. You here?
Yeah.
All right. So you know what needs to be done. And you also know that distractions are going to be there. And you already proved that you are getting distracted. So what needs to be done in order to eliminate those distractions?
I think that they're not that hard to eliminate. I think that I just need to be more disciplined and consistent.
Okay, so can you give me one example of what could be a distraction? Like, what do you need to do? Give me one example of what you need to do every day. And then normally why you're not doing that. Let's catch exactly why you're not doing it. And then we can figure out.
Consistent with calls, like making calls. And the reason why maybe I don't make calls as much as I should is because I need to learn the scripts better and I need to study so that I can have more confidence when I'm calling people.
Okay.
Like
I listened to some of your phone calls.
Yeah.
Okay, your phone calls, your posture was good. So the skills come when you make those calls, and the skills comes when you role play. Are you role playing?
No.
Okay, so you need to understand that one of the things that can stop you based on what you're saying is not role playing. Not role playing is also going to cause you not to call people because you don't feel comfortable yet with your skills, and you're like, I don't want to call people, and then not sound professional or whatnot. And so you already see you can plug in something else into your schedule, and by doing that, you will also prospect. Because you role play, you prospect. You understand?
Mhm.
So that's something else that you can do. Break down everything that can stop in that anything that can stand in your way of success. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's laziness, sometimes it's boredom, sometimes it's lack of skills, and whatever it is, you write down a list and then start attacking the list. Okay, boredom, like what's up with that? And then go into that. Figure it out. Why are you bored? Can you change your environment? Can you change something about prospecting? Can you maybe call people that will get more excited? Maybe you can call some, like for example, I know a lot of people don't like to cold call. So what they do at the beginning, they call some of their past clients and center of influence. So their first 5 contacts of each day will always be center of influence and past clients, just to call a couple of people that you know, hey, how you doing? Warm up, you know, and then start cold calling, then call your feasible, then call your expired listings, you know, then go just list it, just sold. That's another thing that you can do. Okay. But you got to understand, if you're not going to prospect and make your contacts, you're not going to get to your goal. And that's the only thing that stands between you and that. That's very simple it's really simple to resolve. And if you're going to do that, you'll be a 20 plus deals a year agent. I know that because you have what it takes. Just to go to 20 plus, all of you, by the way, have what it takes. To go to 20 plus, all of you have what it takes. You just need to do it. It's just, okay, up to 20 deals, 25, 30 deals, it's about the doing. After that, there comes other layers, okay? Delegating, you know, opening up your marketing more, you know, there's a lot of other things that needs to come in place. But right now, to go to 20, 30, it's just doing. And then the laziness is the only thing that stops you guys, you know, at the end of the day. Good. Lisette? Look,
What's the question?
you did 25, you want to go to 80. You say you know what needs to be done. The real question is, to jump from 25 to 80 is a huge jump that is extremely challenging, and you should probably, first of all, you say you know what needs to be done. Share with me, like just the basic. What do you need to do to go to 80?
Well, what I'm trying to implement this year that I never did, I haven't done, it's to do the mailing, which I already started it. And it's very aggressive. It's 3 times a month. It's all set up in place. 1,000 postcards every 3 to 10 days. I started calling.
So that's one. Another thing we spoke about was
hiring an assistant.
Just sold postcards 500 around.
Yes, 500 around. That's another thing that I'm going to be implementing. Every time I list a property, I'm going to send 500 postcards around that listing, and when I sell it, I'm going to send 500 more postcards.
Okay, and then how much prospecting do you need to do?
I'm going to be prospecting from 9 to 12, but this time I'm going to be adding for sale by owners, for rent by owners, expired listings, and absentee owners.
You need to get about 8 listings a month.
I know. I've been like crazy putting numbers together. It's overwhelming.
I know. Another thing you really need is you need help. You're not going to go to 80 without help. So you need an assistant. You need to start looking. You need to start looking. And you need to hire someone. Like you need to hire someone, even if it's part-time. You cannot go to 80 by yourself because you got to make first of all, I don't think 20 contacts to 30 a day will get you to 80 with those postcards. You'll need probably at least half contacts per day. So in other words, you need 40. And you think about it, 40 contacts a day is working. You're going to be probably aggressively 4 or 5 hours on the phone every day. But 80 closing, my friend, is over $500,000 a year. You do a couple of years like that and ciao bambini, right?
That's my goal.
Right. So what can stand in your way right now?
The lack of consistency for prospecting, because I've been prospecting all this time, but I was not doing the for sale by owners and expires. I don't like rejections. I have to be honest. I don't I hate when people mistreat me over the phone, and I have a very big thing with that. So I have to work on my mindset and master my scripts.
Okay. What can stand in your way of doing all that stuff? Is it scheduled?
It is scheduled.
Is everything on a schedule? The entire plan?
It is.
Okay. What can stand in your way of going into your schedule and following the schedule? Even if you're getting punched in the face by fishbowls and whatnot,
yeah,
you're still on your schedule.
I get sidetracked very easily.
By what?
By whatever.
Give me an example.
By family, circumstances, transactions, whatever things happen,
When you prospect, you get distracted?
Yes, actually, I'm trying to figure out how to not to use my phone for prospecting and use another line, because
You don't need to figure it out. You have KV Core. You're going to buy yourself a headset and you're going to connect to KV Core and start using the dialer with the number, the smart number. So get yourself a smart number for like $20 a month and connect yourself. And your phone is not with you when you're prospecting. Your phone, guys, all across the board. If you're prospecting with your cell phone, you need to be disciplined not to check any texts, any emails. You can just don't do it. You know, it's really discipline. So you need to be self-disciplined if you want to be successful. So you have to make sure that your cell phone is, if you're dialing with your cell phone, that you're not looking at what's coming in. You just need to make a commitment. I'm not touching emails until I'm done prospecting. Finish your prospecting. You finish with your prospecting.
That's one of the things that get in my way. Like if I have a transaction and I feel like I'm losing it, I want hand on. Like I want to take action.
So here is something that you need to look into, and this is all across the board. If you guys are scared of losing a deal, there are some different layers why you're scared of losing a deal. And one of the best postures, okay, in your being, in your state of being, one of the best postures, one of the best levels to bring yourself to is, I don't care. I don't care if deals are falling apart. I don't care if customers are pissed off. I don't care if another agent wants to show a listing. I don't care. I just don't care about any of those things. I'm doing it with no attachments. I am not attached to the outcomes. I'm just attached to my feelings, how I feel right now. I want to be excited. I need to keep myself always at high levels of energy. So I'm not going to eat greasy, heavy foods. I'm going to drink a lot of water. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to keep my mind sharp. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to pray. I'm going to keep myself like, you need to be in this zone. When you are in this zone and when you prospect and the deal falls apart, who cares? You know why? Because if you're prospecting 40 contacts every day, you're going to put like 4 more listings this month on the board, 4, 5, 6 listings every month by doing 40 contacts every day. So if you're getting a bunch of listings coming up, one deal falls apart, it's not a big deal. You know, the drama about a deal falling apart should not be your money, what you're losing financially. It should only be you're losing a customer, you're pissing off someone. Okay, I'll get to it. But if you train everybody around you, and this is one of the things you guys have to do, when you have a schedule, you need to publish your schedule, make it known to everybody in your life. When I was prospecting from 8 to 12, and then from 12 to 1, I did lead follow-up, I would not pick any phone calls from anyone. Unless it's an emergency, and you know when something, if something is going on and it's an emergency, you'll attend an emergency. But then you also need to determine what is an emergency, because otherwise you will call everything an emergency. Oh, a deal is falling apart, it's an emergency. Oh, this guy is calling, oh, I got an offer coming in and I didn't. That's not a behavior of a top producer. A top producer, when they start, look, you role play from 7:30 to 8. 8 o'clock after role playing, you warmed up. You get on the phone, you start calling people. You're calling investors, you're calling for rent by owners, you're calling for sell by owners, you're calling just listed, just sold. You're calling your center of influence, you're calling past clients. By the time you're done, you just made like 39 contacts. Okay, now I need to follow up on all the leads I created. So I'm following up on the leads of today, yesterday, the day before, the day before, the day before that. That's the most important thing in my business. Lead generation, booking appointments. I'm done with it. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. Now I'm going to check my email. I'm going to, reply to all the emails, all the drama, call the attorneys, call the inspector, call the other agent, deal with all that drama. And then I go back on my schedule. Now, everyone in my private life, okay, everybody who's connected to you should know your schedule. And they should know that before 1 o'clock, they cannot reach you. You're not reachable. One of the reasons that you want to hire an assistant is that when people call you and email you, and there are some emergencies that go, look, if you're going to do 80 deals a year, you're going to have some drama every day. Every day is going to be drama. Now, if you need to be the one putting out fires every day, you're never going to get to 80. And if you do get to 80, it will be a nightmare. It will be a nightmare of a business. So what you want to do is you want to put structure in your business. And one of the structured things you want to put in your business, one of the layers that need to go inside your business is delegation to people who know what they're doing. For example, if I can hire an assistant and then train that assistant how to pick up phones, how to answer, what to say at which scenario, if I can explain to them everything, and I already know which drama is going to show up. I already know that 123 Main Street, because last night I saw an email coming in, and I already know that this deal is going to fall apart. I'm going to tell my assistant, if anybody calls on 123 Main Street, take the call, ask them specifically what they need, and come here and give me a sticky note and put it on my desk, let me know what's going on. If there is drama that I need to be involved in, I'll pick up the phone, I'll make one phone call, I'll fix it, 5-10 minutes. This is what you don't understand. Something took you away from prospecting. Okay, what is it? A phone call? Okay, get on the phone, call these people, go back to the phone and keep calling people. So everything is a matter of getting used to. You need to build these habits, and prospecting is a habit. Prospecting or not prospecting, they're both habits. Not prospecting is a habit you're developing because you don't like the phone, you don't like to get rejected, whatever it is you don't like. That's, you're developing a habit of not prospecting, of not contacting people, of not confronting people, of not putting yourself in front of someone who's going to punch you in the face, you know? And that's really not the behavior of a top producer. Then you need to say, okay, I want to be a top producer and I'm not aligned with my behaviors. Why am I not aligned with my behaviors? Because I know that I need to take punches, but I'm escaping these punches and I'm not calling people. Okay, so you're not going to become a top producer. If you want to be a top producer, you need to learn how to take punches. Like, let them punch you. What? They hang up on you. Don't call me anymore. You realtors. Who cares? You're on the phone. It's safe. Nobody can do anything to you. It's not like when you door knock. When you door knock, it's a little bit more, complicated. But still, door knocking, you come across with people, you smile, they smile. It's a lot about your attitude, a lot about who you are and your energy, and while you're doing it. So I want to go back to the subject. Look, you can do as many deals as you want, but you need to go step by step, and you need to understand the steps, and you also need to respect yourself. And don't put yourself in situations you cannot handle. If you're not ready yet for 80, then look at it and say, okay, I'm not ready yet for 80. I can go this year for 50, and then I'll readjust, and next year we'll do 80. Or you know what, Ron, I can do 80, and this is how I need to do it, and start taking steps towards. All right, at any level. If you're doing 3 deals last year, like Glenda, and you want to do 12, okay, what is it going to take to do 12? 4 times more than what you did last year. Okay, how many hours did you really put into lead generation last year? Not many. How many of those hours did you put to lead conversion? If you didn't get a lot of leads, you didn't convert any, there's nothing to convert. So you got to figure that out and say, okay, so this year I need to do a lot more hours on lead generation. So what can stop me from doing that? Okay, my children. All right, so I need some scenario. What time is the most quiet time in my house? Can I change that? Can I move that time? Like, okay, the quiet time is between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., but that's not a good time to prospect. Okay, great. Start moving everything to create that quiet time in the morning, and look at how it's done, and sacrifice. If you want to become successful, you got to sacrifice. The beginning stage of your career, you will sacrifice a lot more. And that's why for me, it's easier to know when I meet an agent, it's easier for me to know if that agent is going to become successful or not, because the behaviors they have at the beginning, it tells you right off the bat, this person is going to make it. Oh, this person is not going to make it. Okay, like I remember working with Elvis, although he was doing part-time, or working with Amanda, who was doing it part-time. I remember them still doing it, like part-time, but doing it. Like, I put my 3 hours in every day. I did my contacts. I went out, I door knocked. I spoke to people. I went to a networking event. I put a video out there. I posted on social media, and I engaged with people on social media. There's so many different ways, guys, to generate leads, endless. With KV Core, you can do a lot better, because it's going to help you, and it should save you time. And at the beginning, you need to understand, the beginning, it's not going to save you time. The beginning, it's going to maybe be a little bit annoying. Take all your information and everything you have so far. I know what I need to do in order to reach my goals this year. Okay, great. What can stop me from doing it? Myself. Okay, what about myself can stop me? I'm too lazy. I don't like to be bored. I don't like when people hang up on me. I don't like. Okay, so I need to start liking it. How can I like it? What can I do right now in my business to like prospecting more. Can I do something? Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. Let me try this for a week. Let me go and try that for a week. Like, because you really want to be that person. If you're like, okay, I'm here and I want to be this person over here, and the distance between me and this person is all those distractions, I got to grow myself. When I grow myself, I will meet this person. Okay, I'm right now over here. The person I want to be is over here. In order to meet like this, we're not meeting. So I got to go up. What does that mean? I got to wake up early in the morning. I got to put some goals down. I have to write my goals down. I have to read books. I have to implement the books I'm reading. I have to role play. I have to prospect. I have to organize my KV course CRM. I have to organize all the calls ahead of time. I need to buy leads. I need to get postcards done. I got to do that, all that stuff. Great. Who's going to do it? I got to do it. Great. Okay. What can stop you from doing it? Nothing. Okay, let's go. And that's really, you need to go to that level that nothing can stop you. And when you get to the point when nothing can stop you personally, then you're going to go there. And then it's just a question of time. It can happen in 6 months, in 12 months, in 18 months, but you're getting there. The biggest challenge in our business, I just want to see if, is there anyone else on the call right now that knows the distractions or knows what's going to stop them from not doing, and it's not what we already mentioned?
Well, I mean, a couple of adjustments that I'm making are related to some of the things that you've discussed here. So for me, the main distraction, the main surprise on the day-to-day has been, the kids. We are homeschooled. So one thing that we did in the latter half of last year was that we got a babysitter. It was only part-time, but even then it was noticeable how much of an impact having that babysitter freed us. So, setting up for this year, we're going to have one full-time, and that's going to have an even major, impact. Another thing that we discussed here that we're implementing is that we did get an assistant that's still learning a lot of what we got going on, but they've already taken over, social media posts, marketing and mailers, and putting in those orders for just solds, just listed postcards and things like that. And we hope to involve her more and more to thereby free us. I feel that I'm more efficient doing those things myself, but of course, as you say, the more time that we create by hiring out and by making these adjustments, the more bigger things we can do, such as lead generation. So those are a couple of things that we're doing here. And what would hold me back is nothing. I mean, I just have to take the action. I have to make sure that these plans are implemented, and there's no reason why anything should get in the way of that.
That's what I was just about to say. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I don't see anything that's going to stand in your way. Because you paved the way. You got solutions. You're like, okay, what can stop me? Okay, the children. Let's get a babysitter. Boom, solution. Put it in place. Move next. Okay, what else I need? I need someone to take care of my postcards and social media. Great. Let's hire this person. Put it in place. Okay, done. Now, so it's someone that understands what needs to be done in his business and is doing it. And once it's done, the slate is clean. Now you can focus. Now you can lead generate. Right. Now you know how to follow up. Now you know how to reorganize or bring another person on board. Or like, oh, we need a buyer agent, or we need the showing agent, or we need the, I don't know, whatever is needed. You are there and you see it, and it's not a chaos. It's not like, oh my God, I gotta call. I don't know. It's not. You're out of that.
And I can say also, if I could also put in there for everyone else, just to have some context on my business. So we did 20 deals last year, but in the last 6 months, there must have been 12 to 14. So, and that coincides with the time that we got that babysitter in. So it just shows how much momentum, I was able to see how much more momentum, we can pick up by putting the same effort in, but then freeing yourself to do the stuff that matters, by not being so distracted by kids' appointments and this and that, and, all that parenting stuff.
Right. On the last call, you mentioned that still some family stuff shows up and distract you a little bit from some of the things. And for that, sometimes what needs to be done is to sit down with the family and have a conversation, and to converse with the family and say, hey guys, this is where we're heading. And there is something in it for everyone. And, when that is working, that is working. Stuff like that. All right, guys, very good call.